what do you do after kissing them? I was pretty satisfied. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of happy with that. I was like, I got my kiss.
Did the lanyard have sunflowers around the
Yeah. I don't think it's illegal. I just think it's frowned upon.
Well, it wasn't frowned upon back then. It was actually forcibly encouraged.
I thought you were going to prison then.
I had to drink. I didn't have to. Obviously, I chose to, but I was like encouraged to drink 5 bottles of wine through a funnel.
Oh my God.
And I did that in an hour.
I'm not sharp. They're not hitting me. I know. So welcome everybody to the Simbin Pod. We are back here today for this episode. We have my guest, which is Chris Ali.
Nice. I would say thank you for having me, but the whole premise of this podcast is quite frightening.
Yeah.
And, I just want to say before we get into it, it was a different time, all right? So let's just chill out. I thought this was going to be a rugby podcast, so I'm fucked up.
Yeah. We will get to the story, don't worry. We'll deal with that very soon. But here, as my co-host, is a very familiar looking Matthew Ali.
But somehow shinier.
Yeah. This is skincare, Chris.
I think it's from the semen.
Yeah.
Whatever gets rid of the wrinkles, okay?
Yeah.
We didn't say that.
So if you haven't noticed already, Chris and Matthew are twin brothers. Matt's going to be my co-host for this one. Chris is our guest. He's going to tell us his story. And then we are, for another episode, going to swap them over. In the corner, we have Mark Cox. Yeah, no round of applause. That's correct. No. Please don't encourage him.
Fuck you all.
Nice to see you again, Mark.
Did you say nice to see him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually like
Chris.
him.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll find out. And in the corner, we have Liam McGough and Naomi Townsend.
Nice.
Hey. So we need to get started, Chris.
Right. Yeah.
Where do you want to start with your story?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about this because I think even Matthew knows to a certain degree, especially when I was younger. I never used to get embarrassed that easily, but this one is quite embarrassing for me. It's the story of when I lost my virginity, which I think for a lot of people can be quite a horrific experience. But so I wasn't that great with girls sort of growing up. I was really uncomfortable in trying to kind of pursue and do things like that. And funnily enough, Matthew was great with girls. But that's how I knew he was gay. So I didn't actually lose my virginity till I was 21 years old, which
wow.
You know, it's getting on there a bit. It's not quite the 40-year-old virgin, but at the time it fucking felt like it. Do you know what I mean? And so I started playing rugby at uni when I was 19 years old. And it was quite a known thing that I didn't sleep with girls. I was doing what you wasn't supposed to do. Is I would go back with girls, sleep in the same bed, and then actually fall asleep. They were like, "Thank God." So not great.
Oh, this is a nice bed.
Do you want to sleep with me? Okay.
Factually, yes.
Yeah. Autism.
Exactly that. So I do like a good cuddle, and every year we used to go on this sports tour, right? And this was in a place called Lloret de Mar, which was a small town just outside of Barcelona. Every year it would be, I don't know, it seemed like hundreds of universities, thousands of people would take over Lloret de Mar, just absolute shenanigans, all sorts of things that you could definitely not talk about really, especially these days. I don't even know if unis would do that. And this was probably my second or third tour. And each year you would be given challenges to kind of pursue throughout the week. He was there for 5 days. My challenge was to sleep with at least 2 girls.
Okay.
And being a virgin, that was quite a sort of scary prospect. But being task orientated, I was willing to give it a go. And so the week goes by, nothing's happening. I'm kissing girls, but I was never bold enough to kind of just, I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how lads do it.
So when you say that, what do you mean? Like you'd kiss a girl and then you didn't know?
What do you do after kissing them? I was pretty satisfied. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of happy with that. I was like, I got my kiss. I was all right with kissing girls. I was pulling girls. I mean, there was one night I think I pulled, not like took them home, but kissed, I think it was like 38 girls.
38 girls in one night.
Yeah.
Machines.
Yeah. That's why I was always wanting to sleep at night. But so yeah, just this one sports tour. I think it was day 4, day 5. Nothing was happening. It was the last day, and one of my mates was just saying like, Chris, like you got to at least bang one girl. Come on, man. So in our hotel, there was a couple of unis staying there. We end up getting to this conversation with a couple of girls, me and a friend of mine. It was fine. It was just afternoon, everyone's hungover, just chilling, just chatting. She had a lanyard on her neck, which at the time I didn't even know what a lanyard meant. It was one of those badges that you have around everyone's, their uni. Everyone had to keep their lanyard on them. So I ended up taking the lanyard and I said, I'll give it to you later.
Yeah.
Day progresses. We get into the night. I go to sports tour and
Smooth.
Yeah,
Classic.
Smooth.
I'll give it to you later.
And he meant the lanyard.
I'll give it to you. Yeah. I actually meant the lanyard, not my penis.
Did the lanyard have sunflowers around the edge?
It was the nicest lanyard I'd ever seen. And so the day goes by. I didn't really think much about it, if I'm being honest. I'd been speaking to this girl for a couple of hours in the afternoon. Later on, it's almost impossible to find anyone because Matthew even knows he went to one of them. There's just hundreds of people out in the streets, in the clubs. At that point, we'd had done our court sessions. Everyone's just fucking wasted when it gets to the night time. It just becomes debauchery everywhere. There was just one club called Moby's, which everyone kind of ended up in. And then I saw her there.
Right.
She is absolutely hammered.
Right.
Absolutely. I know.
I don't know if we-
know. Look, I'm shit-faced too. Everyone's hammered. It was consensual. So she's limping. And I'm like, what
Is
happened?
that what her lanyard was for? Was she disabled?
No, yeah. Well, but at that point she was pretty disabled. And so she's limping and I'm like, oh, what happened to you? And she goes, oh, I fell down, I'm being drunk. And I was like, oh, did you get in trouble for losing your lanyard? And she goes, yeah, I had to drink my own piss. So, which is pretty standard when it came to sports talk and stuff like that. It's not out of the norm. You do things like that. I've seen people drink their own piss. I've seen people drink their own vomit. So that wasn't. I never drank my own piss. But anyway,
Vomit,
Didn't
however.
say anything about vomit.
vomit. I do like chunky soup. And
And then kissing third-year girls afterwards.
it's just-
And they all
just
like
drunk
it.
piss. So romance isn't dead.
So I end up kissing her, and the thing about it is, I don't know if it was in my head or from what she told me earlier on, but I remember vividly actually being able to taste the piss.
Oh no.
And
Wow.
even it's still in my mind.
Oh wow.
But this was the only shot I had, so she couldn't really walk, so I ended up giving her. I ended up giving her a piggyback, all the way back to our hotel room.
To the basement.
Stole the lanyard and stole her from the
All
group.
consensual. There was no forcedness. She was on board all the way.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is this: every night you had to wear a costume, and so all of our rugby team, all of the costumes was Africans.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously being black, I didn't have to black up, but all the white people did. That was what they did back then.
No.
Yeah, blackface and all that sort of stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This was almost 20 years ago now.
Okay.
This was when
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
legal.
Yeah.
And
I
it
don't
wasn't-
think it's illegal. I just think it's frowned upon.
well, it wasn't frowned upon back then. It was
Okay.
actually forcibly encouraged. And
Okay.
so one of my friends, he was helping me out. He was being my wingman.
Was she in blackface?
No. She was in a wheelchair. Yeah, so I give her a pee back home. This story's getting worse. So take her back to the hotel room with it was me, her, my other mate who was white, who had done the blackface, was wearing African garb, and her mate. We go back to our room, which was all sharing. My mate was kind enough to give me the bedroom. He had the sofa. So we get back to the room, still tasting piss in my mouth. And then, oh dear. So we start, she starts, going down on me, which wasn't great, I'll be honest, very toothy. First blowjob I ever had, but, so...
From an unconscious woman.
She was not unconscious. This was consensual. It was very fine.
I love those where it's his first blowjob and he's being critique about it.
Yeah. Well. And then she... so I run out to get a condom for my friend. Come back, and then she said that she was on her period. But, the tour challenge dictated that I had to get the job done. So, fortunately, I think maybe she was at the start. There was no blood. There was nothing there. Gave it my best effort.
Yeah.
Didn't get over the finish line myself. And then, as I do, I fell asleep. And we cuddled and we had a good chat. And then, funny thing, the next day is I went outside to the living room and just the sofa just had all of this brown makeup on it from my friend who was obviously got with this girl and had all of his black makeup on there. And afterwards, the next day, again, there was nothing bad about it. We're having a laugh. We were Facebook friends for a few years, had a good chat after it. And that was that.
First of all, I'm glad you didn't say she didn't try and wipe your black face off.
That's good. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was relieved that didn't happen. But for you, is the shame in you telling this story, or where's the shame within the story itself?
I think the shame is more as time goes by, because there's a lot of things that are involved in the story that, when you're at uni and when you're a young lad and even young people in general, sex is weird, sex is uncomfortable. A lot of things happen.
Yeah.
And, there were a lot of situations during that, a lot of people would accuse me of being inappropriate, but it was all consensual. We were just all hammered.
You've said
The thing
that almost too many times.
Yeah,
now.
well, I just need to make it clear. The thing that was most shameful about it actually is because it was the fact that when I kissed her, I could really taste the piss.
Yeah.
And next year, we used to get names on our tops for sports tour, and the next year's sports tour, my name was, I think it was something like Piss Mouth.
So these guys
or
were
I take
professional
piss or
comedians.
something.
These guys are professional comedians coming up with the back
They were
names.
horrific people. But yeah, to be fair, the most shameful of it was the tasting of the piss and actually consciously thinking, I've got to carry on and try and finish the job here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For the troops.
For the challenge,
Yeah.
You kind of, I don't know when everyone else lost their virginity, but when you get it in your head and you're around all these lads and there's peer pressure and the amount of beds that I slept in with girls and I was so not conscious of girls actually liking me. I never conceived of actually how do I get a girl into bed and then sleep with her. So the only way that it was going to happen was me if I just sort of consciously thought, let me just get this done, let me get out of the way and get over that hurdle. And then after that, I didn't have sex for 4 years. No, it was a while, but it wasn't not 4 years.
It was quite funny because when you start the story, you went, so I didn't have sex till I was it 21?
21, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, well, thanks for the story, Chris. That was 5. And then actually, you went on from there, and I forgot about the fact that, that was sort of back in the day. That was like, what? So you were 21? No. So you must have got ribbed for that by the rugby boys as well.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, because when you back at uni, innit, you go to house parties and stuff like that, and because I was such a nice guy, I would end up walking home with girls. I was known that I could kiss girls, so I would pull in stuff and things like that. But just actually, getting to sleep with them and just wasn't something I would do.
Yeah, it's like a shyness or.
I was just scared of sex. I don't know about everyone else, but
I was the same. Yeah.
I was just scared of it for whatever reason. And as you get older, the worse. You've seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
You build it up in your head, and then when you're subjected to these situations where it's lads, and I'm a bloke, and as I've gotten older, I've realised I'm actually more of a man than I thought I was. You find it all quite intimidating, especially when there's a bit of peer pressure, and then when you've got this just absolute abuse of alcohol laced on top of it, man.
It's true.
And because to be fair, most of the time when I used to go out, because of my upbringing when it came to alcohol, I was just absolutely shit-faced. So I even now, if I had a couple beers, I can't get it up. So I don't know how I would have done it back then. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Imagine how she felt. You had to carry her back.
I thought I was being quite a gentleman. She couldn't walk.
She couldn't walk because she had a sprained ankle. Okay, not that she couldn't walk the ends. I think it was kind of brushed over. It was rushed over, but it wasn't really emphasised.
No,
that she couldn't walk, not because of the alcohol or the fact that she could not walk.
Yeah,
It's because it was a sports tour and she injured herself. She could normally walk. In this instance, she was unable to walk, and Christopher helped her because it was so difficult. It's like very clear because it came out like she couldn't walk because she was so drunk. Correct. That's what it looked like. So I just had to clarify that. Yeah, he was being a gentleman because she was struggling to walk because she hurt herself.
She was actually trying to power through. Yeah, she injured her leg on sports tour, so she could barely walk.
I thought you were going to prison then.
Well, I might have been. To be fair to Matthew clarify. What's it? Standard limitations, isn't it? It was a while back.
Statute of limitations. Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
But like sports tour, I went on one sports tour, and I never went back for many of these reasons. It's horrible. Like it's absolutely, and the drink culture is really, really bad. Like you have someone, if you're new and you're a virgin, you have someone who's your senior. I can't remember what they call them.
Your dads.
Your dads.
I might go back.
Well, hold on. God, that did not resonate at the time. I was 18.
They did keep saying to Matthew, "It's dad, not daddy."
And he said, "Stop bending over," and I was like, "My bad." But I had to drink. I didn't have to. Obviously, I chose to, but I was like encouraged to drink 5 bottles of wine through a funnel.
Oh my god!
And I did that in an hour.
Oh my god!
An hour, yeah.
Matthew did this off of that as well. He got absolutely hammered, and he had all these cuts on his body because he started doing this thing he called the seal. So he was going on the floor and he was writhing around. And
outside the pool. And you know, they got the rough edge around the pool. And I was just in like my swimwear. And I was pretending, I don't remember this at all. And then I started trying to fight other people around the pool.
Yeah.
As a seal, or you were back to you?
As a seal.
Come on!
Are you my daddy?
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. Like, you know, it sounds like a bit of a horrific story, but some of the stuff that used to happen on tour, man, it was absolutely outrageous. I mean, we used to, there used to be this thing every year called the Sangria Challenge. Right. So we would get 5 litres of sangria. You know those big bottles of water? But it would be sangria, and it was the worst sangria. It might have been about €5 at the time. And you would have to drink that in 3 hours. You would all sit in a circle, and you couldn't leave the circle. All you could do is piss in the circle. You couldn't do anything else. You couldn't eat. Eating was cheating, always. And I the first year I did it, I think I did it in 2 hours and 45 minutes. I set the new record.
Yeah,
I just went through. Yeah, I just went to my own side, and I was just like, let me just finish this thing. Yeah, managed to do it.
Oh my god!
And then blacked out for about 7-8 hours. Did a few things that shouldn't be said.
There's quite a lot of that.
That's the thing. Imagine that. I've come out and said this story. Imagine the things I don't want to talk about.
Absolutely. I love how Liam and Naomi were both really quiet through the drinking challenges. They were like,
sounds good, but also the sick after the sangria, like a bucket of sangria or something.
Yeah, but what they would do is they would put 1 bucket of sick and 1 bucket of piss. They were welly boots actually, and everybody had to do it in that same one. So when they were talking about drinking someone else's vomit and piss, it's because everybody's was in that welly boot.
Yeah, and this was 2 individuals who just decided to start chugging the vomit. I mean, I
was not even going near that. It made me feel sick. I was like, I can't. No.
Yeah.
When you were saying everybody else had, blacked up and everything, what was your outfit and what was her outfit?
They had to dress up as white people.
So they were from a different uni. So what they were dressed up as, there was their own thing. But our uni in particular and the rugby team, we decided we were going to dress as Africans. So I wore basically what I had at home. No, I just we just wore the African garb without having to put any makeup on.
Yeah.
But it was a rugby team, uni. Back then, barely black people went to uni, so there was no black people involved. And so I think I was the only black person on the team. There might have been one other guy, and then it was about 20 other white guys, who did blackface.
They'll all get fired from their CEO positions at some stage.
CEOs.
This is a polytechnic university.
This was Middlesex. We did not win.
They are not CEOs of anything.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not a good unit.
They are not at risk.
Yeah, exactly.
One's a primary school teacher.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Wow, okay.
His name is Dog Dick. It's not his real name, so I'm not gonna...
I was going to say, wow. That's a great story. It's a great story.
Well, I'm glad to get it off my chest. I've been holding that for a while.
Did anybody have any further questions on it? Anything that I might have missed, or?
Well, I just thought it was funny that it was so unbelievable that I would beat up Mike Tyson, but yet you can go out and kiss 68 girls in one night.
That was 38 girls, and I got quite lucky with one group because we went. My choice of words here are terrible. There was one group. It was kind of at the start of the night as well, where sometimes people would want to exchange costumes with you, and this one girl said, "One of my jobs is to get someone else's fancy dress. Can I have yours?" And I was like, "Well, what do I get?" And she said, "You get to kiss all of my freshers." So in a circle, there was about 15 of them. I kissed them, tongue and everything, one by one. Each of them just went out, and I said, "Here's my costume."
Yeah. It's very possible. I mean, I came out as gay when I was 18 when we went to university. Right. But every week, because I would join the rugby club, and it's quite a laddie culture, I wanted to be like, oh, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay. So I used to kiss all of the girls. So every week it would be 15, 20 at least.
Matthew was
really?
Matthew was...
Yeah. And then be like, do you want to come home? I'm like, no.
Do you know what? The funny thing
you
is...
misunderstood.
I must have learned it from you because I was the exact same.
He's doing it. I want to do that.
And this is where we stop.
Surprised you two didn't go dressed as white chicks if they were all blacking up.
No.
Is that out then?
Yeah.
Well, I love the story. I think I wanted to work out, my first question was about the shame bit, because I wanted to work out where the shame was really for you, whether it was at the time or whether it's telling the story now.
No, I mean, I'm not shameful at telling a story. It's quite funny, isn't it? And,
it's great.
You know, people don't admit stuff like this, I guess, and you know, I've had plenty of sex since then, so it's not so bad.
There you go. It's my favourite story so far.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to give it a 4.1, which is the highest score I've given so far. I love that. Matt, you've been very judgmental so far with your scores.
I've been very judgmental of my
Just
scores.
like mum.
Okay, we're not talking therapy here. Do you know, I think it's a very interesting story, and I think the shame has probably come from telling the story, but not the actual act of it, potentially. But I would probably say that I'm going to give it a 0.
You need a new trick, man.
I am.
What, because it involved a girl?
Yes.
Yes. Consent is key, and there are some. I give it a 0 because blackface is not acceptable. And unfortunately, you have one.
Yeah, I wasn't doing the blackface. I was born
You got to
that
do
way.
one in a minute, and you also wearing blackface.
I do wear blackface on a day-to-day basis. But my score is 0.
All right. Okay. Well, that is consistent at least. He hasn't given anything
Well, he's
above a
consistently
0.
an asshole.
Liam.
Well, I hope the cameras picked up on the moment where you went to give him a high five, Matthew a high five, and he didn't say
did
it.
he?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well. Let's review the cameras on that one. But anyway, I thought it was a great story. It made me laugh a lot. I particularly enjoyed the amount of times that you said it was consensual. I'll give it a 5 out of 5.
Hey, big score. Nay?
Yeah, thank you, Pissmouth, for sharing. I enjoyed it. That made me laugh a lot. I give it a 4.
Hey, wow, that's a good scoring all round, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if the aim of this game is to score high, to be fair. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what we want people to bring.
Nice. I'm
That's
just
the
glad
point.
no one's listening yet, that's all.
Yeah. If you do make it famous, they will be coming back.
Hey, I've still got these pictures up on Facebook, so I'm still fucked.
Well, Chris, thank you for the story. I loved it, mate. And now we've done the rating, we're gonna head over to Cox in the Corner, our little segment where Mark, our little nerd in the corner, gets to ask one question and one question only to each guest on each app. Mark, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hi, Chris.
You all right, Mark? How's it going?
Not too bad. In your stand-up, you talk a lot about growing up and playing on racial stereotypes. But do you think constantly talking about Jews and Muslims is a bit unnecessary?
Well, to be fair, I've always wanted to be white, so I feel like it's appropriate.
The white Muslims.
Yeah,
The white racists.
Okay, the racists.
Hey, you can't be racist if you're black. That's the point.
It's impossible.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Is that fact?
Well,
I don't know
if you
that's
disagree,
true.
well, that's because you're racist.
No, so thank you, Mark, very much for that question. Chris, you feel like you answered that sufficiently enough?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really talk about Jews and Muslims, so, I just talk about my life, being a black man in a white country. No, I think I answered it sufficiently.
Good. Okay, fine. Thank you, Mark. So we're going to move on now to Sinner or Winner, where each week we get 2 cards out where 2 listeners have written in with their stories. We get to rate them. Who's the sinner? Who is the winner? If you do want to write your own story in, if you think you have one, please do. Go to thesinbinpod.com and there's a little bubble there that says confess. Hit that and you can write in. It can be anonymous if you want it to be. I've not heard them. No one here has heard them. Only Mark has, and he's going to read them out now. Mark.
Hello, yes. The first sinner or winner this week is again anonymous because they're a chicken. They've put, I once fished a piece of chewing gum out of a guy's bin in the shared kitchen. I don't know why. He always had the strongest smelly minty gum. And something about it just drew me in. I didn't eat it. I'm not an animal. But I kept it in a little Tic Tac container in my bag for a few days. I eventually threw it away after it started to go soft. It was probably just a phase.
So weird.
That's dodgy.
That's pretty nasty.
It is. And that's up against Big Kev, who wrote in to say he got so drunk he pierced his own nipple with a safety pin in a Wetherspoons toilet.
No.
He told everyone he was starting a new era. He bled through his top, got kicked out, went home and fainted. He still has the scar. And he tells people that weren't there that it was done during a knife fight in Thailand.
What? A pierced nipple?
Yeah.
The scar.
Yeah. That's funny. I don't know. Yeah, that sounds like rugby tour again. That reminds me of
I believe
something else I
a
did.
lot,
Yeah, I believe that one. Especially in the Wetherspoons.
In the Wetherspoons?
Yeah. Well, because I did something like that similar on Sports Tour where I'm scarred for life.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so for some reason, one of my mates, he was bragging about how the night before he was trying to impress girls by burning cigarettes on his chest, or
Wow.
on his arm and stuff like that. So we all decided as a group, let's do that together. And so all of us blokes was just standing around, but instead of just putting the cigarette out, they were, say putting it on the chest and pulling the cigarette at the time. Now me and Matthew both got a skin condition where we get keloid scars. And so I was the last person. I got 1.5 cigarettes full of just people just pulling on this cigarette on my chest. And it really scabbed up. It was pussy. And then now
I've
got this
seen
big
that
on my
scar. Is
chest,
that what it is?
Yeah, it's from a cigarette and a half.
Wow.
Everyone else, between like 6 of them, they had half a cigarette for some reason. Yeah.
Wow.
This was after another sangria challenge.
Wow.
That's rough.
So yeah.
That is rough.
It's like Bud Brothers.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Ash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think to read the first one again. Would you, Mark, quickly?
I once fished a piece of chewing gum out of a guy's bin in a shared kitchen. He always had the strongest smelling minty gum. Something about it just drew me in. I didn't eat it, but I kept it in a little Tic Tac container in my bag for a few days.
Well, that's just a serial killer right there.
Yeah.
Weird.
Mark, was that you? It's like Hey Arnold. Where like in the cupboard she's put Helga. Do you remember Hey Arnold?
Oh,
the
God,
show?
yeah.
Like put all of Hey Arnold's chewing gum together to make like a little effigy of him or whatever. So maybe he's trying to keep some of his essence. That's definite serial killer shit.
To me, that's just Sinner. It's so odd.
Yeah.
It can only be Sinner.
Straight sinner.
Yeah. And the other one's therefore
Yeah, well,
by default is Winner.
anyone that's willing to go through the pain of piercing themselves, I actually think is I give them props.
In a Wetherspoons as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Only one thing though. How scarred up does a nipple get, and does it look like a knife
Well,
injury?
I agree with you.
You know,
Absolutely
it's only like
right.
poking it through,
Yeah.
and then that's the end of that.
Well, it's probably not sanitized, so probably afterwards. You know,
Oh,
I
somebody's
think
had to
it's just-
operate on
It's
it.
had the infection and
that's
the
a good point. Yeah, so then they're the winner.
yeah. All right, I think that's it. I think what was his
Scars are
name?
cool.
Yeah,
What was
I've
his
got
name,
the same
Mark?
keloid
That was Big Kev.
Big Kev. Congratulations, you're a winner for this episode. I think that wraps us up, guys. It just leaves me to thank
God.
Matt for co-hosting. Chris, thank you for being a great guest. Thank you so much. And to Liam and Naomi in the corner, thank you very much. Mark, cheers.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll see you again soon for another episode. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye.
Bye.